Hey YouTube, this is Quentin and I'm back with my review of the Nexus 9. A quick look at the specs of the Nexus 9. It's an 8.9-inch IPS LCD. It has a 6700 milliamp hour battery. The rear-facing camera is 8 megapixels and the front-facing camera is 1.6 megapixel. The CPU is a 64-bit NVIDIA Tegra K1 processor running at 2.3 gigahertz. The GPU is a 192-core Kepler, and it comes in 16 or 32 gigabytes of memory. Wish it came with more memory. That's the only downfall. Here's a quick look around the Nexus 9. Like I said, I really like the feel of this tablet. It feels good. It's solid. It has a metal band around it. The one negative is the buttons. They don't protrude a lot. So I agree with some reviewers. I wish they stuck out a little bit more, but they do operate well. This I believe is a microphone, and then there's another microphone on the bottom with your standard USB jack. Nothing on this side. On the top you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. There's a little split right here. I'm not totally sure what that is. It has, of course, the speakers in the front and your 1.6 megapixel camera in the front also. Not much to it. No SIM card, because this is not an LTE model, so it's the Wi-Fi model. Pretty light and good feeling tablet. Take a look at the Nexus 9's lock screen, and you can just double tap like so, and you can see you have your notifications, and then you swipe up. And I have security on mine, so I'll log in. Okay, now I'm logged into the Nexus 9, and of course with the Nexus 9 you can put security on it, and you can also use face unlock as a backup, but it doesn't always work. And that's part of the new Lollipop. Basically, you can do face unlock, and then if the lighting conditions are good and it detects your face, and on unlock without you having to put your pin in. But it's not exactly accurate. If someone sort of looks like you, they can still probably unlock your device, that's a disclaimer when you're setting it up that they tell you. But it's the perfect size. It's in between the iPad mini and the iPad Air, and I really like it. I like the way it feels. I like the build quality. I haven't had any build quality issues with it. It has this metal trim around the edges, and you've probably seen that in my unboxing video. This is a nice tablet, like I said. I don't have any of the creaking issues like a lot of people have had. So, and the build quality to me is really good. So I really like it, and I'm really satisfied with it. I think it's worth the price. The only negative I have is basically it not having LTE, and the battery is not as good as the iPad. It's pretty good, but just not quite as good. And it could be because I'm using the tablet a lot. I mean, since I've gotten this tablet, I've been on it like most of the time, much more than my iPad and my Nexus 7. So I really like it. The cool thing about the Google tablet or the Android tablet is when you open your Google Now cards, since the tablet is wider, it's an 8.9-inch screen, you can see all your information is pretty much populated, and you don't have to do a lot of scrolling. It has two panes right here. So I really like that. That's pretty neat. And you see it kind of stuttered a little bit right there. You get that a little bit in Lollipop, which, you know, it's not a deal breaker, but I would hope that it would have been smoother. And you have the recent apps, and you've probably seen this, and this is like, you know, this is another Lollipop feature, not exclusive to this tablet. So when you see the Nexus 6 review, you'll see that it has this too. But it's real snappy. I like it a lot. The screen is an LCD screen, and it gets really bright, and it works really good. So I really like this tablet a whole lot. I haven't really been able to use it a whole lot, bring it with me as far as leaving the house, because I don't have a case for it, and the cases don't, you know, they won't ship until like later this month. So that's kind of a bummer, but I mean, that's how it is with a lot of Google stuff sometimes. But anyway, I've just been mainly using it around the house, and it's a joy. The front speakers are really nice. Listening to it, they're loud. They're not like HTC boom style, but they are loud, and it's better than having a speaker on the bottom or the back. So I really like it. And this tablet, another thing about it that I really like is just the general, I mean, like I said, just the general overall feel of it. The size is just right, 8.9 inches, and you can't exactly hold it with one hand. Well, I can because I have big giant hands, but most people can't, or have long skinny hands, I should say. But most people can't do that. So you have to, take that in consideration. But I mean, I like the size of it. It's just the right size to me. Video performance is pretty nice on this tablet because mainly you have the front facing speakers, so you can watch YouTube videos really nice. And I'll just check out one of my videos just to give you an idea of how it, what the video looks like in the speakers. And see if I can hold that up there so you can see it. Hey YouTube, this is Quentin. I'm back with a review of a few cases for the iPhone 6 Plus. All of these cases are made by Spigen because at the time, that was the only case manufacturer other than the official Apple cases that I could find that you could get cases for the iPhone 6 Plus. I mean, get them at least right away or within a few weeks. The first case I have is the Tough Armor. And I'll turn that down. That's enough hearing me, but I mainly just wanted you to see the video on how it looked. And it has a 4.3 aspect ratio, no longer the 16.9. So it does have the letter boxing, but it's actually not that bad. It's kind of flimsy, it's plastic. And then with Google, they updated the Google app, and you can watch videos in 1080p now. So switch that to 1080p. I don't know if it's gonna make that much difference, but video performance is really good. One negative about this tablet, and it's not really the tablet itself, but I think it's more a lollipop, or Android 5.0 is it's still the Google tablet or Lollipop itself. They still have issues with it rotating. Like when you try to go from portrait to landscape, it's really choppy, like so. And then, it's just not as smooth, and it's just kind of, choppy. And I wish they would figure out like a cool animation, but maybe I don't know. I'm not a developer, or I'm not an engineer. I don't know if that's difficult to do or not. And another thing I notice is when it's in landscape mode, the wallpaper doesn't scroll, which I don't mind that really. And I think this only happens with the wallpaper that you select. With the stock wallpaper, I believe it probably does scroll. We can try that right now. Go to wallpapers. And then let's just choose a stock wallpaper and see if it scrolls. And see, it has that glitchiness, And so it's scrolling now. And then we'll put it in landscape and see if it scrolls. Yeah, see, it's with the stock wallpaper, it scrolls either way. But when you add your own wallpaper, it doesn't want to scroll, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I don't really like the animation. I wish it was more smoother. And that's just something they haven't really locked down yet, And another thing, and this is probably just a lollipop thing, I still wish they would have the battery percentage up. I don't know why they don't. They just don't want to do that for some reason. But that's not a big deal. That's more of my pet peeve than, some people don't even care about that. But, I mean, not a lot to say. If you've seen videos on Lollipop, it runs well. For the most part, it's smooth, and I do like it pretty much. You have glitches here and there, but it's actually pretty nice. And, I mean, one thing I really like is they updated the Amazon app, and it's specifically for tablets. And because Google, normally, since they're so used to they have all these devices, or Android, they have all these devices. A lot of people used to complain about how there's not a lot of tablet optimized apps, which is true, but they're more used to scaling the apps up, even though they're blown up phone apps. Seems like they're more used to scaling them up. I mean, a lot more used than say on the iPhone. If you look at an iPhone app on an iPad, it looks horrible. It's like these big gray borders, and you try to put the the little scale to blow it up, and it's really pixelated. So I mean, it doesn't look that bad on the Android tablets, even though it's a blown up phone app, was what a lot of people complain about. But this Amazon tab app is specifically made for the a tablet, Android tablet, and it works really nice. And they're slowly upgrading the apps to make it work with Material Design, so it's really working real good. Oh, another thing I should mention, another negative, I do have some light bleed, but not really bad. And it's basically kind of up in the top, right up here, and then a little bit down the bottom. But it's not bad enough that it bothers me. I've had light bleed on a lot of tablets, except the iPad. And I think even on the iPad I had a little light bleed a few generations ago. So it just depends. I mean, but it's not bad. That's not something that bothers me. I've heard some people have really a lot worse, but it's not a deal breaker. The camera interface is okay. It's not bad. Or I should say the camera, period. And one other thing I should notice, and you probably been noticing since I've been touching it, the sides are real sensitive. Just like when you pick it up, I accidentally touched it and it was wanting to. It opens the info for you to choose your wallpaper or widgets or settings. So you got to be careful with that. But the camera, I don't take a lot of pictures with tablets, but it's actually better than recent, other Android tablets. So it's not bad. Just like you can see the Google camera interface. And I'm probably doing a bad job in front of the camera with this tablet. It's kind of hard to really hold it in a decent way. But try to focus it like so. Swipe it over, just like, what you've seen before on Google. And it's a decent picture. Not the best, but, I'm not the biggest camera person. And see how that, when it went back, it had the cool animation, but then the screen kind of darkened. That's kind of weird. That's something I don't really care for. But, I still overall like the tablet. I'm kind of nitpicking. But they just have a hard time with when you're going from you're coming out of an app, something like that, and going back to the wallpaper some kind of freezes or hangs like that. So, but overall, I mean, like I said, I'm not very picky about it. And there's supposed to be an update that was coming, but they had an issue with it, so it hasn't really came up yet. That when I initially started this tablet, there was a massive update, like 245 megs, but there's supposed to be another one coming. So probably some more stability issues and stuff that they can fix or change. Of course, here's the notification pane or drawer where you have all your emails, and then you can do it double tap. Well, not double tap. You can swipe down with 2 fingers, or you can just keep pulling down. And that's kind of cool. And this is right now, like I said, this is unique to Android Lollipop and not just the tablet. But just thought I'd show you. I guess I can go into settings. A lot of the stuff you'll see on the Nexus 6. Another cool thing is you have a 8.9-inch tablet, so all your settings are side by side. You don't have to do a lot of scrolling in right here. It's got that neat little animation when you scroll up and down. So that's pretty cool. So overall, I really, really, really like this tablet. I like the form factor. I like the screen. Even though it has a little light bleed, the build quality is good. I mean, in my opinion, I don't have any issues with that. Only thing I wish if the LTE model was available and it had more storage like the iPad. That's another thing I should mention. If they offered this in a 128 and LTE immediately, I would love it. It would probably be the tablet I would use, and I would probably get rid of the iPad, I love the iPad. That was like my first tablet. But this really, I like this. This is the Android tablet I've been waiting on. Anyway, I hope the review was informational for you. Look forward to the Nexus 6 review whenever I get it. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.